Good day. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Call of the Wild Tutorials. Thanks for joining me today with audio. I don't know what... I know what happened yesterday, so it was fine. If you play PlayStation at all and on the PS5, if you touch your... If you got your controller and you touch the little button here, it'll mute your audio. And so before the stream, instead of I can touch my microphone and you'll see when the color, it mutes it. But instead of doing that, I muted it on my controller. So anyways, we'll make it up for you guys today. So for those who can join, thank you for joining us today. The popular vote, believe it or not, was Layton Lakes. So I always love playing Layton. And I'm kind of wondering if this is getting more popularity now because of, say, for example, you know, you can hunt 3 great ones on here. I didn't think about that aspect of it. You got your bears, moose, and whitetail. But, I mean, it's a great map, regardless. Just going to check where we are here in the stream of time. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do today is, as you can see, I was hunting here a little bit. I'd like to fill in. We're going to kind of take a stroll around here. I think first we're going to start and we're going to go for some elk in the morning here up the river. And hit some elk drinking times. And then we'll come down to this, we'll come down here to the High Lake region and kind of fill in this little area here because we don't have very many need zones here. And so we'll kind of see what we can take a look at through here. So anyways, but before I start, Dakota yesterday on yesterday's stream, what the best rifle in game for hunting deer is. And I'm still going to go with my standard answer. My favorite rifle in the game is the 303. First off, the 303 because it shoots so flat that you don't even need, say, for example, you don't even need the zeroing perk with the 303, whether it's 75 meters or 300. In fact, with the 300 or at 300 meters, all you have to do is just aim for the top of the back and you'll always hit long. If you're zeroed at 150 meters, right? That's the default zeroing. So I rarely switch my zeroing. The reason I have it on is I was wanting to hunt with, for example, the muzzle loader, which that's where zeroing comes in handy. Or if you're hunting with a shotgun with slugs, you need the zeroing for that. But for short range, if you're just looking for something that's short range, like base game, I like the Coachmate, the 4570. I think it's a good round. If we go and we look at the ammo for the 4570, the ammo goes, let's just scroll down here. I think it's 4 to 9. Yeah, so the ammo is 4 to 9. The penetration is excellent. So whether you take it and you're hunting in Hirschfelden, then there's bison there. The range on it's like, 150 meters is the long range on that. So I think it's a great gun. It drops deer and everything really, really quickly. Long range, if we're just talking base game, I would say the 7mm. But let's not forget the Mosin as well. That's part of the, I think it's Weapon Packs 2 DLC. You get the 7.62 ammo. There's only one ammo for this, and it's class 3 to 7, so it's great, once again, for like a map like Hirschfelden. If you're not hunting the European bison, this stuff shreds through red deer and everything. Like, don't be fooled by the penetration and the expansion. It is a great, great weapon for hunting. But base game, it'll be the 7mm. I mean, it's only a one shot, but it's, it's a great round as well, going from 4 to 9. So thank you for the question yesterday, Dakota. I did answer it, just I had no volume. So anyways, Let's go out and let's change our time first before we leave. And then we're going to go out and we're going to look at some elk drink zones. And then we'll come back and we'll hunt this high lake area. So elk are drinking from 4 to 8, I believe. So let's set our time for 5. It gives us that kind of hour to get the elk into their need zone. Once again, remembering that need zones aren't a set thing. That it's more about the home range. So we want to make sure about that. Now, just one more thing I wanted to share as well, and I didn't realize this was a thing. This comes from Dag, one of the viewers. In here in the settings option, let's go in here. We're going to go into systems. There's this key binding. Now, the key bindings, when they first brought it out, they weren't working on PlayStation, but they are now. So if you want to change your key bindings, for example, the one thing that I really wanted to do was change my your weapons wheel. I wanted to change the weapons wheel to like R1. I didn't change it just because when you're playing, and if you guys have a question, it's easier for me not to explain how the controller works without special commands or anything like that. If I get used to what I've changed it to, it's not necessarily what you have it changed to. But open the weapon wheel. It's really easy to do. So if I wanted to change my weapon wheel, all I have to do is you just you select what you want to change it to, and then when I press the R1 button, I press and hold it. Now, it didn't give me an option to see if I want to tap it or if I want to hold it, but then it'll ask if I want to change that, and there you can see now it's changed. And the only thing I would suggest doing is, because you have to press and hold that for the weapons wheel to switch the ammo, I was going to switch it to the R2 button, just so that you're using the fire button. So you'd be using like you'd be holding the L1. You can use the R1 to switch your scope, and then the R2 to switch your ammo. It only makes sense that ammo would be fire. But I just wanted to point it out. It actually works now here on PlayStation. I tested it out this morning a little bit, and it's not too bad. But I'm just going to restore it to defaults, because if you guys have questions, it's easier for me to answer when I'm playing on the default setting. So anyways, let's move on to the river here. I think what we'll do is we'll fast travel over to here, and we'll hit some of these need zones up here. So let's just fast travel over there. So once again, if you're just joining us, so sorry for yesterday's stream. If somebody in chat could just give me a thumbs up and say everything's working. I tested it this morning. My lights aren't on, nothing's muted, so I'm an idiot. Idiot with the wild hair this morning too. So we're going to be going up towards here. Let's just put a waypoint down. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday so far. For some, your Friday might be over. Maybe it's Friday night. Hope you have good plans for the weekend. And if your plans just include sitting around and playing video games, that is A-okay by me. It is cold here today in the part of Canada I live in. I actually live in Ontario, Canada. And this morning, I think it was, let's just check here. Yeah, it was like minus 15 this morning when I woke up. It says it feels like minus 23 out, so it is chilly. It is. I'm staying in home today. Or staying at home, I should say. I know it's not as cold as parts of Western Canada. And so to the people from Western Canada, I feel for you. But it's kind of different here in Ontario. We're surrounded by the Great Lakes, and the cold is always be out in the western provinces quite a bit, western US, down south. And it's how people always say, well, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's the same thing when it comes to cold. Oh, what do we got here? It's not necessarily the cold here. It's the humidity. So, oh, how did I miss that dude? So rabbits have been funny lately. They'll flee for a little bit and then they'll just kind of walk away from you. So they almost make it easier targets now. Like I've been down in Arizona when it's like 110 degrees and it's hot, but it's a dry heat, so it's not like, what is going on? There's no way I should have missed that twice. So it's not as hot as when it's like humid out, because you just can't escape. There's no place. You're just uncomfortable all the time, and it's the same thing here in the cold. You can be, I've been out and it's been, oh, what do we got here? I've been out where it's minus, minus 40 degrees Celsius, and then run down here into southern Ontario, and it was like -9 or something like that, and it was way colder because the dampness just shoots right through you. So this guy's just gonna stand here. We're gonna shoot him. So okay, well, I am on. So that's why there's that difference. And even that feels like -23 or whatever. Like it just, because it's so damp and around the lakes here and stuff, it really just shoots right through you. There's nothing that you can do about it. And so like even low temperatures, like you get -4, -5, and it's just freezing cold here. If they're just going to walk here, I'll be happy to take them. Okay, you start flying. Okay. There we go. So I'm just using the game points for these rabbits. And it's good because it lowers the hunting pressure rate. It's only 25% of the hunting pressure. So now that they used to just take off all over the place, but now that they don't, it's a little bit easier to get them. Sorry, I got distracted with the rabbits. I forgot we were out here after elk. Alright, so we got some elk here. There's a 400. Nope, there's a max weight right there. We want to take him out. So 440 kgs to 500 kgs is a max weight for an elk. It pretty much guarantees you a gold. And his estimate is 299 to 371. I can't remember what elk make for diamond. But I'd like to take the 440s out as well. I'd like to take that out because he's a 4. So I'd like to take him and him. So I'm just trying to think of how we're going to do it here. Let's turn off my light. It'd be nicer if I didn't have to do it standing. Can I still get him when he's crouched? No, I can't see him when he's crouched, so I got to do it when I'm standing. So crouching and going prone really decrease the wobble. So like you can see here, I'm standing, and now if I go, like it's still annoying, Like if you want the maximum stability, you got to go right to crouch, and see there's like nothing. So I don't know. I wish they would change it just a little bit, because to me that's a lot. But we can't get the two. We got the well, we can get the two. We're just gonna have to hit them here. So we're gonna wait for the one guy to start drinking. There we go. Because once they're in their drinking animation, they'll stutter a little bit, and they don't come up as fast. Did we not hit this guy good? We'll hit him again just for good measure. So here's another little side tip here as well. If you don't want to put that perk into sprint load, you can start reloading. You can just walk, like reload and start walking. It won't allow you to sprint, but it'll at least let you to move and reload. You can also sometimes do it when you're in crouching position and you're moving forward. You can reload as well. So no, I don't think we were that far away. I wasn't paying attention to how far we were away from the elk when we shot him. So let's go. Okay, this guy's got a medium blood rate. Let's take him out first, or go chase him first, because he's right here. I think this is our max weight. And we're just going to take our binos out here too, and we're just going to look across. I hate it when they're in shadow like that, because it's hard to see what their fur variation could be. But let's just look at him. He's got a wide rack. And once again, I can't ever remember what their trophy rating is for elk. I don't see a lot of tine, so I'm not going to make a guess. We're just going to take a look and see what he is. He is a gold. And 380 is diamond. So he's not bad. He's a 330. That's pretty decent. And not something I'd put in my lodge, but I mean, look how wide that is. That is crazy wide. Wish you could rotate in this screen here when you have the kind of the closer view. That is a pretty wide rack. So we're just going to accept him. Let's go find that other guy. I don't think that... No, that's not that 440 he went over in here. I didn't even look at my shot placement on that. So we might not have got vital blood the first hit on... This was our second shot. Oh no, we got vital both times. Did we? No, that's just a regular shot. It's weird. A medium bleed rate, you think he'd be... He wouldn't be as far as he is. Excuse me. He ran pretty far for a deer that, or for an elk that I shot twice. Makes me wonder where I got him. Hear the rabbits, just don't see the rabbits. Don't get distracted by the rabbits. Okay. See him. We can see he's definitely smaller. So once again, just as a tip, yesterday I had one wrapped around a tree. If you want to take a picture on PlayStation, you can. There's a setting now where you can, hit a button and everything disappears. But you press your capture button if you have it set just to press it once to take a picture. And if you don't like the position the animal's in, you can actually get a four-wheeler and push them around a little bit to try to pose them up a little bit. Doesn't always work out the way you want to, but sometimes you can get a better picture that way. So let's just pick him up. He's a gold as well. Almost 300. So that's not a bad start. Oh, it says that I missed him the first time? I wonder if it's the same. He's the one that I wanted. I thought I shot him. And I shot him from 100 and... Well, we saw where I shot him, but... That's kind of weird. I'll have to go back on the stream and watch that again, because I swore I hit him the first time. Unless it was just slightly over. Oh well. So let's go down here and see what else we can see as far as elk goes. So these are all females here. Sorry, I got my cat's just sleeping over here beside me and he's snoring. I almost want to wake him up. Okay, so we've got, what do we got here? We'd like to take him out. That one could come out because this one's got that estimate. A fairly big estimate. We could clear a lot of these out. What's the matter, lady? Oh, you're alert. So if I had to be... It doesn't matter really which one we take out. None of them are real keepers, but we're just going to check the distance on them again. And I always, when I'm going across water, I always like to do this and check to make sure the distance is accurate. So it's 247. And it's not 100% dead on. I don't know why. So if you're shooting across a river or... Anytime, for some reason, whenever you use binoculars across water, especially here on Layton, it's never 100% accurate. See, if I go over here and put a waypoint on him, it says it's 247. It's almost a difference of 20 meters. Why that's happening, I don't know. But just to be careful. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take out 3. And to do that, we're going to go prone. See, I'd like to take him out, but that guy is standing really well. So is him, or so is he, and so is he. So let's just see what we get. We're just going to wait for them to duck their heads down again. Okay, so bang, and bang, and no, we're not going to get 3. Are we going to get 3? Did I shoot that guy already? Breath, breath, breath. We'll still get him. Remember what I said about aiming high, so we're just going to lead, and that should hit him. Might even take out that guy there. I think we got him too. So we've got some to collect over there. Hopefully that guy does not float. We got a hurt shot on him. So like I said, I like this because the recoil really isn't that bad on the 303. It for the most part, it's pretty good. Would I say that Layton is the best game, the best map in the game as a beginner? I'm going to say no. It's the base map. It's one of the two base maps. But for beginners, I would say Silver Ridge Peaks. And the reason I'm going to say that is there's lots to shoot. There's never, Layton can get, there's lulls in Layton that it can get a little bit, you know, animals can be a little bit scarce in Layton, whereas in SRP, they are just, it's loaded. Now it depends on what you've bought. I know they have different DLC packs, or now when you buy the game, you can just buy the base game and it comes with different maps. I would say a good map for beginners is, one is SRP. I would say Tiararoa, the New Zealand map, because in New Zealand you get this 303. It comes with the missions. But if you're just looking for leveling and XP, I would say definitely SRP. Just personal opinion. Layton's great too. You know, I started on Layton. And if you're looking just kind of for like a slower pace, then it would be Layton, but yeah, 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 definitely, right? Um, yeah, if you're just looking for like kind of like a chill hunt and you're not worried about shooting a lot of animals, you want to explore. Now, Layton's gotten better in that aspect. When we first started, there wasn't really much to shoot at, and it was, I mean, there was a lot of times you'd play for hours and not get anything. Oh, what do we got over here? 4 easy. You'd play for hours and not really see anything. But now it's way better than it was originally. But definitely I would say that. Like, you can just run around SRP. Now you've got all the DLC maps, but do you have the DLC? Hold on one second here. We're just going to take this guy. Do you have like all the weapon packs as well? Yeah, they do. They do. That they weren't part of the original game. We're just going to take a shot on this guy as well as soon as he is right. Hold on. There we go. That should be a long. Yeah, rabbits came in as kind of like an add-on, and then they backfilled with turkeys, you know, later. Yeah. So the weapons packs, I would recommend like I can't remember if it's 2 and 3. I think definitely. I think 2 came with the Mosin, and then you had the 30-06. No, the 30-06 was maybe 2, and the 22. I don't think there's a really, like I said, I don't really think there's a bad gun in the game. And like I said, the 303, personally, I just like it. Like I said, it shoots flat. For beginners, it's heavy hitting. You've got class 4 to 8. So you can, if you're coming here on Layton, you don't need anything bigger than an 8. So it's good that way. And it's you get the game, or you get the gun for free just by playing in game. It's one of the mission weapons. So you can't kind of go wrong with that, right? Don't let me forget, we've got elk over there to pick up. But I don't think there's one set rifle in this game. Like the 7mm maybe, because it goes from 4 to 9. If you're playing on SRP is good, but it's only a 3 shot. So they had to balance everything out in this game. And so there's a lot of give and take. Like the 30-06 is hard hitting, but it's got a lot of recoil, right? Whereas I don't find the recoil is as severe on this one. Oh, no, 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 that's fine. That's fine. It's all right, thieves. You ask away. That's what this channel is all about, right? That's why I've want to do the live streams, stuff like that, right? It gives a live Q&A. So there's no such thing as a stupid question. I don't think anyways. And it helps keep chat interesting, right? So like I said, I just don't feel that there's just one definitive gun in the game. It's kind of what do I feel like hunting today, or what do I feel like hunting with? I mainly just run the 303, just because, like I said, I think it's fast reloading. It's doesn't have too bad of recoil. And it's good and it's good at a distance. It shoots flat. The 300 also is a great gun that shoots flat. That came with Yukon, but you can't get it for free. It's like, $90,000 to get that. And that's a lot of gameplay for, if you're not wanting to grind out in this game, that's a lot of cash. So anytime you can get like a mission gun, like something. I think the key thing for new players is getting that shot placement down properly. I don't think he died, so I'm not going to bother chasing him. Is getting that shot placement and stuff down, because you can spend, if just like here, right? Like I shot that elk. I knew it wasn't a good shot. I was hoping for a lung, but I guess I didn't catch one. No, it's not. It's not live on YouTube, or on Twitch, I should say. Live on YouTube, not live on Twitch. I was using a streaming service that kind of did both, and I tried it for a couple of streams, but I found the streams are really, like, my internet connection is not the greatest where I am, because I'm out in the sticks, and so that's why I have to, broadcast at 720p at 30 frames per second. But the streaming service, what it did is it broadcasted on both simultaneously. I sent it to their server and then they split it. But I found it was really laggy. Watching it back, the stream quality just wasn't good enough for what I wanted. So, and I don't really have a desire to, I don't know, I don't really feel like streaming on Twitch. It's nothing against Twitch. Just my channel is based off of YouTube, so why not just stream off of YouTube? It just makes life easier for people who subscribe, and then they don't have to worry. They can just, okay, I'm just going to follow on YouTube, or I'm just going to watch the stream on YouTube. Yeah, that's good. And that's the way that you got to do. That's the way you got to do it, right? Practice. Practice makes progress, right? Forget that practice makes perfect. Nobody's ever perfect. Practice makes progress. So the more you practice on things, the more the more shots you take, obviously, the better you're going to get. Knowing where your vitals are and knowing where you can and can't hit an animal, that's key, right? So I have a video I have to update. I did it on a PC and the audio's crappy, but it's on, shot placement, right? Because a lot of people don't know the terms, broadside, quartering to, quartering away, what that means, and where to actually hit the shot if you're in those situations, right? Yeah, Twitch can get pretty cluttered sometimes. And there's a lot, like, I'm an old guy, right? I'm not like super old, but there's just a lot of technical stuff I just can't be bothered to learn. I shouldn't put it that way. There's a lot of stuff like hype trains and bits and all that stuff. I'm not really concerned about all of that stuff. I kind of just do this for fun, right? I got a full-time job. I drive truck for a living, and this was just more of me to give back to a game that I like, or a game that I love, I should say, and to help new players out, right? Because the more players there are, the more they support the game. And so, as some of these new players, I see how frustrated they get. Um, Sorry, so if I'm going to head to SRP, what's the little things there? I think SRP, the small game, is only turkeys. I'm trying to think if they have. I can't remember if they have fox or not. Like, mountain lions aren't easy to get. Oh, come on! I just want to pick you up. Now you're floating. Mountain lions have a small target there, but it's mainly just turkeys are the small things. I can't remember if they have. Do they have rabbits in SRP? I can't remember. It used to be one of the most popular maps. So I was surprised. I was surprised when I put the poll out for, what people wanted to see me hunt, and everybody's like, "Oh, Layton Lakes." I was like, "Oh, okay." Where is this guy floating to? Let's see if we can. I don't know where he's going. Okay, we're just gonna let him float. We're gonna try to get the other ones I shot, because obviously I just can't jump in the water and get him. Oh, like, I'll tell you, you want a challenge on a small map, Mississippi Acres. Trying to hit raccoons and all of that nonsense is just, like, don't get me wrong, I like hunting them, but man, are they ever hard to hunt. Or Revan Tooley hunting the raccoon dogs, and the some of the small birds they got there. My goodness, are they ever difficult? And that's good if It gives you a good challenge every now and then, right? Okay, so I want to go back to the marker here. I just want to see where. I know I shot a couple. Ugh, I hate that I can't hit them from there. This guy will get here, I think. There we got one. So you try to lead these guys a little bit, but it's... I probably just deleted the need zone. Yep. For a duck. Oh, look at that. We got a piebald. I don't think they're very rare. I've got a bunch of piebalds in my lodge. It's nice when you can pick them out of the sky like that. All right, let's go and let's go and see if we can pick up some of these guys here. I think we shot 4 here. Okay, so I shot you there. And then you went over there. Okay. Am I close enough to... You know what, we're just going to do this. I don't want to chase these guys forever. This is what the Bloodhound's made for. That's the one thing I'll recommend too is... and I do it all the time, is I'll shoot a whole bunch of animals and then I'm like, how many did I shoot again? And then as you can see, I shot more than 4 in that need zone, and then so we deleted the need zone. So let's go and get our Bloodhound. And where's our marker? We're running in the opposite direction. So once again, if you just stop and you walk, and then you crouch, no, it didn't reload. So let's just stop here, and now we can go. I'm all about saving skills and using them in other places. So not using your perk points and using them somewhere else is way better. If I don't need to use zeroing, then I don't want to use zeroing. If I don't need to use sprint load, great. I don't think it would be so bad in this game if they would just do an upgrade to the perks and skills like they should. And I think that's... Oh, is that an albino? No, I think we got an albino rabbit there. Let's go after that here quick. Alright, we're not after you, we're after the albino. There he is right there. I don't think I have an albino rabbit. How far away is he? Oh, heck, we're just going to use the shotgun. There we go. Did I miss him? Hope not. Alright. Look at that. A gold albino. Well, that's going in the lodge. Let's tax that. Look at that. That's nice. Hey, Jackson. Check out my albino. Yeah, I know. It's nice, isn't it? I don't have one of those yet. Into the lodge he goes. Let's accept that. Let's go get these elk. I mean, I destroyed this need zone here. If we catch up to these rabbits, they're going to be gone too, I think. Tired of tripping over the holes they leave here on Layton Lakes. So I will say that's one of the things I don't like about hunting with a dog is they make so much noise, and you know, they break the branches, rustle the branches, and then you think you got something around you and you don't. So let's go over here where we shot these elk. So once again, when you're using the Bloodhound, you can just do a quick command. If you click on that track and then press down on your D-pad, a quick command for that is to track. If he's not tracking, then you can press down and the quick command is heal. I wonder if that's the one that was floating. Because he seems... My poor dog seems lost. He's like, wait a minute. Oh. Okay. Where are you going, bud? Come on. I'm gonna say that the harvest died. Poor thing. Alright, let's pick this track here and see what happens. This guy's gone too. My poor dog's like, what the heck is going on? And we know we had one float down here before. Like, this is just a little insane. My dog's a submarine. Now he lost the track. Oh, fantastic. Okay, let's try. Let's try this track. We're 0 for 2. I don't even know where they could have gone. Like, I know the one floated past and it went kind of like downriver or whatever, but now to try to find these things is just... Oh no, that's fine. Welcome back. Did you see the albino rabbit we got? It just kind of popped up in nowhere. Very similar. Just a little bit smaller. There we go. Thank you, Poochie. And let's just show him some love. There we go. So when you're using your dog, you want to make sure you keep your bond up, because I mean, not that they don't not recognize the commands. I think it helps them regain their focus better. Where did we get this guy? Oh, we got him on the run. 302. So when we were leading him, we were aiming at this. So this is what I was saying. Like, he was 300 meters away. I tried to aim right around the top of the spine, and then I was leading him right in front of his neck at 300 meters away, and it was enough to catch him right there. We were maybe just almost too far forward when we let him. We could have maybe gone back just a little bit into where the neck was and at the shoulder, like at the back level. And even then, it was maybe just a touch too high. But anyways, not a bad elk. Yeah, and coyotes aren't too bad either, because you can we're just going to go over here. We're just going to, I know we want to go to the river and pick up our elk, but I just want to collect the sneed zone here. 130 meters or so away. Yeah, you can call them in fairly decently. What do we got here? Oh, it's a blacktail. So this is kind of the part of the map where blacktail and whitetail mingle, if we want to use that word. There's like right around here, you'll go black, like it's blacktail on this side of the lake, and then it'll be like whitetail over here. They kind of divided the map up a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, so foxes and coyotes, very similar to hunt, respond well to callers. There's a coyote there. They pay really good if you get a good shot on them. 1,200. Yeah, they've kind of changed coyotes. So once again, if you're hunting with a dog, remember, just be mindful that your dog can spook animals. So if you just get your, if you get your dog to lay down, we're just going to take a look for that coyote again. We're going to just call him in. And we'll see. Sometimes the nervous animals don't respond that well. But the thing to remember with the collars, though, and just, we're going to annoy you here for a second. Oh, we got a elk coming in. I might take him. Let's take him. Let's just see, how far out is he? 40 to 60 meters. So when he comes over here, we're just gonna... There we go. There we go. Oh, that was a big one too. I didn't see him. Oh. No, that's okay. That's all right. No need. I did that on somebody's stream there. He was is Wesonator 88. He's entertaining. I'll give him a shout out. He's fun to watch if you haven't watched him. He streams with a fella named Graves, and I was like 2 hours behind their stream and commenting. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh man, don't I feel dumb?" Okay, so we shot this one already before with the 303, and we missed him. But then we just got him here. Oh, we didn't even hit a vital. Oh. What do you mean by levels and scores? If you just clarify that. Like when you're like playing in game, your XP just builds on your XP, if that's what you mean. Like there is no, like if I, right now, if I go into, I'm at level 60. Okay, that doesn't change if I switch maps. And once you hit that XP level, that level 60, you don't gain any more XP. You're done. You can still sort of collect it. Yep, rifle scores and skill points and everything, they go from map to map. You just keep them. They are yours as you collect them. It just, like, think about it as like a game, like, I don't know. So you're playing like Spider-Man or something like that, and it's just going to a different level. You still remain the same. You keep all your skills and everything that you had. Your rifle score just keeps building. So if you wanted like a quick way, for example, let's say you wanted handgun score, I recommend sitting in a stand by some rabbits with I recommend sitting in a stand with some rabbits and shooting them with a 22 pistol. When you restart, no, it doesn't. So as soon as when you restart a complete game, like if you go in and it's kind of a now, Thieves, are you playing on what platform are you playing on? PlayStation, Xbox? What are you playing on? Because that kind of matters a little bit. We're going to have to walk across here, I think, just to see where on earth those elk went to. Like, they floated somewhere, like they just didn't... I want them elk. Like, there's no... If you're on Xbox, I don't think there's a way to back up your saved game data. But on PC or on PlayStation, you can. So you can throw a USB stick in your PlayStation, whether it's a PS4 or PS5, and you can transfer your Call of the Wild save data to the game. And so I always recommend that, especially, most everybody's a PlayStation Plus member. So I always recommend turn your autosave off for this game. Because if there's an issue with your save file and it auto uploads, then you've just lost all your progress. You've lost everything. Whereas if you just, after say every gaming session, upload yourself, okay, so you're on PS4, great. So when you upload on your own, you can save. Yeah, so exactly, there you go. So you have a USB stick or whatever, and just save that game. Okay, well, no, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. But just saving your game, making sure you save your progress on something is going to help, right? So like you're not on PlayStation Plus, so then you're not being you can't play multiplayer, right? That kind of stinks. But if you had PlayStation Plus, I always say turn off autosave. And for example, like for last January, they had this bug where your little flashy light. I got to do it over here. That's where it is. Your little flashy light would be blinking over here for your autosave, and it was continuously on. And then when you shut your console off, it would corrupt your save file. So thankfully, I had, it backed up to the cloud. But had I had autosync on and turned my PlayStation off, it would have tried to sync that up, and I would have lost all my game data. And so thankfully I didn't have it that way. And then I transferred it. What I did was I loaded it into the system, and then I just used a USB stick and fired it up. Look at here. This is where this elk floated to. Okay, so we found one. Excellent. But saving your stuff to a USB stick or wherever you're saving it to is always going to be a good thing because you're never going to lose it. And if you restart, so what happens is, say I go into, I'm not going to do it right now, but let's say I went into the main menu and you have continue or new game. If you select a new game, what it'll do is it'll wipe your hunter skills and everything away. It keeps your trophy lodges though. It'll keep your trophy lodges and like everything that you've, taxidermized. It'll keep all of that, but it'll wipe all your skills, perks, and everything clean. You start from ground one again. Which is fun. I've restarted on several occasions. So I restarted and then they finally fixed the issue they were having. So I'm still kind of on my original game save. Ooh, that's a nice 4. We're going to take him out. Let's just wait for him. There he goes. I'm just going to duck down here for a second. Yeah, because the thing is that if you autosave, the second for the majority of the time when you turn off your PlayStation and you put it in rest mode, it's going to autosave automatically. You know what? If you've had a good gaming session, great. But if something just corrupted, then you're euchred. So I've just gotten in the habit of I just turn my autosave off for this game. Because you never know. And losing your progress stinks. It's a nice gold. I think he's only 5 off a diamond, is he? Oh no, he's 27 off a diamond. So that's just like I said, that's just my piece of advice for that. Because if you want to start a fresh game, it's fun to work your way back up to level 60. And then when you start a new game, of course, then you get new populations and the whole 9 yards on your map. So I'll have to do a multiplayer hunt one of these days, just for some fun. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So how long have you been playing Thieves? I have no idea where that elk floated off to. We're going to take one more pass down here and see if we can pick up that elk. See wherever he floated to. And by then it'll be whitetail time where we're going to go down here. I know I have a max weight whitetail down here. So I'll ask you, Thieves, how long have you been playing? And what level are you currently at? Because it kind of, when you've got your skills in the right spot, you'll start finding more. If you're grinding for XP and cash and stuff, how is he up there on that shore? We did not pass him before. Oh, maybe we did when we went up to check out the deer up there. Oh, goodness. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. Okay. I gotcha. I didn't pass that again, did I? No, he's right there. Yeah, because, once you've got the right perks and skills and stuff, right? Okay. Now, are you resetting? Are you resetting because you want your stats to be better, or are you resetting because you wanted to go a different way with your perks and skills, or because I started one where I was trying to do, the stat over here when you go into your codex and you go into your hunting log, no, the hunter, and you go to your profile. Is it the profile card? No, your hunting profile. I started one where I wanted my accuracy on rifles to be 100%. So I'm at. How come I can't get over there now? I can never get over there. So I'm at like 75% on my rifles right now. I get that. Look at ammo as an investment when you're starting out. The 243 that you get right at the beginning with all the free ammo, it's not a bad gun. If you're going and hunt, those soft points will easily take out, coyotes and foxes and stuff like that if you're just going for money. But I always kind of based it this way, like if you're using a larger caliber of rifle, like let's say you're using this 303, I think the cost is like $800 per 10. So you get $800. So one round, the first animal you shoot, that's around $1,000, right? So let's say you're using this 303. I'm going to go after moose when I first started because a moose pays around $1,000. My first bullet is my expense. That was the cost of those 10 bullets, and then the next 9 bullets is profit, provided that those 9 bullets take down a moose. If you look at it that way, right? It's the same thing with the stands and the blinds. If you've already earned a little bit of money and you want a stand or a blind that's in game here, like use the ones here because they put them in spots where there should be animals. Now, like maps like Layton here have been, animal populations have been readjusted, but I still think they try to keep a balance to make sure that the stands and the blinds are still viable. But $1,700 for a blind is cheap compared to the $16,000 you pay for a portable one. 2,100 for a hunting stand is cheap compared to 16,000 that you pay for. It's the difference between shooting, 2 or 3 animals to recoup your money, or having to shoot 16 animals to recoup your money, or more in some of those circumstances, right? So anytime I ever build a stand, even now, where money's not really a thing for me, I just go and I'll build a stand, and I'll make sure I harvest 2 animals out of that stand, and then the stand's paid for itself. I've got my money back, and you get XP for building a stand. So a lot of people overlook the fact that, opening up a map gives you, to me the fastest way to level and to get money in this game is do the missions. Do the missions, open up your map. When you start doing like the missions here, like whenever they release a new map, what I normally do is I get on it and I hunt and I start the missions. And as soon as it turns night, I hop on a four wheeler or an ATV, whatever, however you want to call it, quad bike in some areas. But I hop on an ATV and I go around the map and I open up all the lookout points and I get all the lookout points. I get all the, outposts. I get all of that. And so if you figure you're getting 100 XP for a lookout, and there's usually about 16 lookouts in a map, 12 to 16, that's 12 to 1600 XP points you can get. And I don't think there's a mission that pays under $1,000, and some of them are quick. Just some of them are go to this outpost, and you go to the outpost and you collect $1,000 plus you get the XP. But if you went at night already and you collected all of that stuff, then guess what? It's a matter of just fast traveling over to that outpost and you're done. So to me, that's still one of the fastest ways to gain XP and money in this game. I mean, aside from running around and hunting, but just initially, even just to start, so you can get just initially, so you can start and get your weapons up and your perks and skills up. Yeah, and that's fine. It's just remember need zones, right? So like this guy just called here, so we're calling him in. We're not in a good spot to call him in. We're doing it anyways. We're going to change to buckshot here. I don't know if he'll come in. It says annoying as a predator caller is if you spam it like 4 or 5 times. I think it's only got like a 20% attraction. Maybe it's more. I don't know. Is it listed on the... Oh, that's not. The attraction strength is maybe like 40, but that's a 40% chance of attraction. So if you hit it a few times, then it ups your chances of having them break. Now, he might have been a little bit nervous. Oh, there he is right there. Look at that. But it's okay to run around and look for the calls. Now, I think we're between need zone times for them. But normally what I do is if I see a call, I'll run towards that call and then I'll try to pick up the need zones. And then that way hey, I've got an animal here. Because the more animals you have... I'm trying to think of... on one of the EW streams, they mentioned... Jaxie was mentioning that the more... Like, your population is kind of set, but the more need zones you discover, the better the hunting gets. It's like there's more animals on your map all of a sudden. Or you're seeing more animals on your map. I know somewhere around here I have a zone and I've got a max weight whitetail that I want to take out. I think it is... Yeah, so... And that's another thing. See, that's a good hunting technique that I use all the time that I learned kind of about this game. See, because they don't rely... Oh, there he is right there. Do we have any more big uns out here? Oh, he's okay. If you know that, for example, these whitetail are feeding here, and then when they're done feeding here, they go over to here. And you know about the path they take. Maybe they wander through here. You can set up a stand, a tree stand in here, and kind of catch them as they're coming in. Then they're not really in their need zone. They're always going to want to come. If they were traveling to that need zone, they're always going to want to travel to that need zone, if that makes any sense. You might spook them, but because they haven't hit that need zone and you haven't spooked them out of that need zone, they're going to kind of want to go to that need zone. I don't know if that makes sense to me. They're, because the way they've done need zones now, it used to be you'd shoot an animal, it would, all these animals would spook. They'd run 150 meters and then they'd turn around and they'd come back. And now they've made it so that their home ranges are not necessarily tied to these need zones as hard as they used to be. They're more of a suggestion of where they'll be. They could be there at that time, or maybe they've got another drinking zone that they're going to be at. Oh, that 2-miner's good too. So we're going to try to hit him and the other fella. I'm just going to see how far they are. We're going to come in just a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. So just knowing what's on your map and discovering your map is like, to me, it's key. Right? And then, so they did an animal reset here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you can keep them there kind of one at a time and you don't spook the whole herd off, like sometimes it'll happen. Sometimes it'll happen is they'll just go like a few hundred meters away and they'll be, you know, if you're at a drink zone here and next thing you know they're drinking over there and that in those, they're drinking in the middle of the woods over there and you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? They're not even near water, but that's, you've pushed them from their need zone a little bit because of hunting pressure. But chances are you're still going to see animals around that need zone at that time. It's just not as guaranteed as it was before. See, like I have a drink zone here. Oh, I guess there is whitetail here. There's a female there. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just duck into here. No, we want dog control here. We're going to get our dog to lay down so he doesn't spook the deer. And then we're going to let out a couple of calls here. Now I hope we don't get too many from the other herd come over. And now we're going to get just a good chance to see what's in there because they were all stuck in the tall grass. So we got a trivial. So I haven't seen anything I want to shoot yet. Because if you're going from, if you're going for like trophy animals, you only kind of want to shoot the bigger ones as part of herd management. You want to, so I always like just shooting my max weights because although they'll respawn as something, I mean, they could be, there's a chance they'll be bigger, there's a chance they'll be smaller. No, it doesn't. No, your clothing has nothing to do with it. It's something that the community is asked to see changed. In Hunter Classic, what you wear affects. But this is when you're in the bushes here. Like I'm in. Aside from making a little bit of sound, I'm invisible. There's that where you can see your sight there. It's in the red, and so they can't even see that I'm there. When you get that little white bar, then it'll go to like 10 meters. But here in Layton, you can stroll around here for quite a ways, invisible between these bushes. So there, they just got the scent of me, and then they just took off. So this doe here still doesn't see. They can smell me, but they can't see me. No, I wish your outfits would. I wish your outfits would count for something, but they don't. All right, where did we see that? It was over here. That other herd there. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that when we get to 2,000 subscribers or something like that. I'll not even that doesn't even matter. Yes, yes, the scent eliminator works. So doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're what level you're at. So see, we can spray some on here and it'll tone down our scent. Now they're probably already nervous and thinking about moving. Our wind wasn't good when we came in here. And like the bigger ones are more aware, right? We're looking for my max weight boyo, but I think he is moved on. So the bigger the animal, like the larger the level, the more harder they are to hunt. Obviously, they're more aware of things around them. So, and your scent eliminator lasts like 30 minutes. Now you're when you're using, like, for example, like whitetail scent or something in game, it's almost like we'll try it out here. I think I have some with me. The problem with scents is that scents rely on the wind and they cost you money. But kind of the cool thing about a scent is, like, hold on here. Let's go to inventory. I do have whitetail scents. There we go. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to see who that is. That's, sorry, I had to wear my glasses. I can't read well without my glasses. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel. So with the scents here, if we throw down... Oh, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So if we put, let's say, for example, a scent works like the e-color does. If I spray the scent, you see, I'm not spraying it on me. A lot of people get this wrong. I just sprayed that scent, okay, and now I can walk away from it. And I can go hide over here in this bush or by this tree or whatever. As you can see, we're invisible still. And now, watch what happens. The animals don't come towards me if they're going to catch the scent. Scents work great. You have your directional cone here, okay? And depending on how hard the wind is blowing, depends on how far the scent will go out. And then the directional cone is if the wind is not strong, the directional cone is wide and it doesn't go out as far. But if the wind is strong, then the directional code is narrow. Like your scent is narrow, but it'll go out for a greater distance. And the thing about it is you can spray it in that spot, and it's like the e-collar, that's where they'll go. The problem with scents is that it's totally dependent on the wind. Excuse me. So when we sprayed it, the wind was kind of almost leaning towards them, but now it's not. And you have to spend money on it. Whereas a collar is a little bit more effective because you're not spending money on it, right? And you can use it as many times as you want. Yeah, the e-collar is I I've been experimenting with it. It's kind of cool. And once again, there's that balance, right? There's the weight balance on it. It's heavy, but it works really, really well. Almost too well. It's almost, I don't want to say it's cheating because they put it in the game, but it works really good. All right, not the guy we wanted. There was a max weight somewhere, so we're going to have to chase him down. I don't want him. I don't want him either. All right, let's go pick him up before he decides to float away too. See, I'd like to see, ideally, I have a wish list for this game. First and foremost, I want grid lines on the maps. It's not a huge ask, I don't think. Because, once again, I like opening up my map completely. But then, when I want to hunt a certain area, how nice would it be if there was grid lines? So I hope I'm saying this right, Crocus. Is it Crocus? I hope I'm saying that right. You can correct me if I'm wrong. What do I think about the 6.5? I think it's good. Yes, I would agree. It should be. It could be a 2 to 6, just because it doesn't have very good. It doesn't have very good expansion. You have to be very accurate with those shots when you're using it. I love the sound of it. I love the looks of it. I just wish it was a little bit more beefier than what it is in game. And because it's so a little bit light, I find I agree with you. 2 to 6 would be kind of a cool area for it to be, or even 3 to 6. I could handle that as well. Because I think it's a 4 to 6, right? Right now. What time? It's drinking time still, right? Okay. Do I have a zone over here? No. Probably over here. So the e-collar is fantastic. It's, maybe one day I'll do a stream where I'm kind of playing around with that a little bit. Yeah, so how would you feel if the 6.5 was 3 to 6? 2 might be a little bit underpowered for it. 3. But then you're getting into the Mosin range, right? Because the Mosin is a 3 to 7. It's a 50 cal. Sorry about that. So here's a yeah, but it's not really a long range rifle though, right? It's more for shorter stuff. I used it a little bit. Still not a super big fan of it, just because it's not. I think I'd rather use the 4570 than that. So right here, if you haven't been playing the game that long, just going to show you, if you come across here the plaque. This was a creator for the game, a YouTube creator, back when the game first started. It was Biggie, and pay respects when you come to see Biggie. But that, it was nice. He passed away, and he was a creator, and they put a plaque in here for Biggie. So this was one of his favorite hunting spots. So if you see that, that's what that was about. Biggie was a YouTube creator, one of the original YouTube creators for content for this game, and so they put a plaque in here for him. Let's scoot down over to here. I think I don't want to place a waypoint. I want to fast travel. Yeah, that's who Biggie was. You can, I think his content's still up on the channel or on YouTube. So they did like a memorial stream for him, and oh, we got some nice ones here. They raised some money for one of his one of his favorite charities, which was like almost like a animal shelter. So it was really nice of the company to do. Right, this game's not like, I know people like to rip on EW sometimes, but really they're not like another gaming company. They're really about the community. Yeah, so I'm gonna agree with you there. Um, I wish one of my wishes is that they would have like a 1 to 3 or a 1 to 4, but they don't have a rifle that's specifically for that range. They've got, like, I'd love a rifle where I could take out a rabbit with it, and not necessarily a deer, maybe a roe deer. So 1 to 3 would be kind of cool. I want to take this guy out here in the back. Let's just catch our breath here and hope he turns. Oh my goodness. I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but I have like 0 ammo left for my 303. So how fortunate that we are here. We're going to put our dog away too. He's driving me crazy. Goodbye, Charlie. We want rifle ammo. See, another thing I'd like to see them do as well is the storage. I wish the storage was sorted like the store. So if you haven't done the survey yet, do the survey. I'm going to say that again. I said it last week. I'm going to say it this week. Go in, do the survey. One of the UI improvements I suggested was, if you've played the Angler at all, the Angler, you select your rod and then it automatically goes to the reel, and then you select a reel and it goes to the line that you can use. I would love it if we could select the rifle we wanted, and then it would say, what ammo do you want? And you could select both, and then it would go to scopes, and you could select the scopes that are compatible with that. I think that would be fantastic. I know people want things like being able to, buy, bulk buy ammo, which would be great too. You can do that in the Angler. But it's just one of those things until we get it. You have to be content with just spamming X a whole bunch of times to get your ammo. There we go. We'll buy 500 rounds. That should be good enough. You can carry that in your pocket, right? 500 rounds. Yeah, exactly. We just have the Hornet, and the Hornet's not even that. I don't find the Hornet's that it's that good of a weapon, right? I'm not I'd love to use the Hornet more, but it just doesn't have, to me, it doesn't have enough punch. So, I don't know. I'd love to see a 1 to 3. And even like and I can understand the 22-250 that we got. I like using that. I think I'm carrying that right now. Yeah, I've got the 22-250 just because of that 2 to, I'm not really hunting anything here with a regular 22, and it just gives you that nice option, right? Sometimes it's nice just to do I don't know if you've ever done this before. Just do like a shotgun hunt or a bow hunt only, and then you've only got like one weapon, but you can have all the different ammo for it, right? We got a nice gold. Oh, I'm not going to be able to go across. I got to go around. But, once again, you want to see changes, go in the Discord, and there's the suggestions there. Throw it in the suggestions or read the suggestions. See if anybody else has suggested that. And, if you like their suggestions, upvote it. The reality of it is EW is a company that does listen to their community. But then on the flip side, the community has to realize it's a business, right? They got to make money. They can't produce content for free all the time. And I don't have a problem with paying for small DLC and for skins and stuff like that. I know I'm going to play the game for a long time, so it's not going to matter to me. I'm going to get my money out of it, right? Like I already have over, 2,000 hours in the game. I know I'm going to get my money out of it. I've got my money out of it. Now, that being said, we know there's a new map coming out. What's everybody hoping for a new map? I personally don't care. I think anything that they give us is going to be good. What reload bug is that? Oh, seriously? Huh? Well, I'm quite sure it'll probably be patched here in the future. Oh, that'd be handy. That'd be handy. There's actually some skills or perks that you can get in like handguns. For example, I got nothing in handguns. I don't do the sprint reload. But if you've got if you wanted to put stuff in here, I will say, so if you've been watching the skill series on my channel, I think the stalker tree wraps up on the 27th. And then we're going to be moving to the ambusher tree, but then I'm going to be doing perks as well. This perk right here, Ranger, I ran this for the EW competition for the Apex Hunter. And I'm telling you, this thing's actually pretty good. It's a passive perk, and what it does is, you know how now you can range your animals with your binos or your if you're spotting. It actually narrows it down within 20 meters. And it's fantastic. This used to be that ranger perk, that ranger perk used to be what you got if you'd had to select it or whatever. It was an active perk, and now they've made it in game But now it's also a passive perk as well, and it'll actually decrease that distance. And so you don't even need to spot it anymore. You can just, you're within 20 meters, big deal. But if you go over to here, the lightning hands, this will actually, it'll actually help you with reloading, like if you need to reload faster. I've tried it. Not necessarily something, it's not my hunting style, right? But if you're, for those guys who are grinding and stuff like that, it's probably a good skill to have, because they want to reload as quick as they can to try to get more animals. So they're usually sitting in a stand or whatever. I'm gonna have to try that. So anyway, so new maps coming out. What's everybody hope for? Crocus, he's hoping for Brazil, right? Oh, here we go. We stumbled upon these guys here. Do we have anything decent? We've got this guy. We're going to take him out. Why not? We're here. And zoink. And then we'll just see what runs away. Runs away. That guy's half decent. Half decent. That was it. The reason I say I don't care about what we get next for a map is just because I like what we have. I could spend months playing on the same map. Like I could easily play Layton for the next 3 or 4 months. And you should have seen my Layton before the reset. Every square inch of my map looked like this, but worse. It was when I'd go to load in my map, the lag on it was, you'd have to wait 30 seconds for your map to load in because it was loading in all the, that was when I was on PS4. Now I'm on PS5. I don't know if it would affect it the same way, but I like to make my map look like polka dots as much as I can. Like silver. But I personally rather just see bug fixes happen to the game. I don't mind the cosmetics. I understand, once again, talked about it before. It's a business, got to keep the lights on. So I don't mind paying for cosmetics to do that and get bug fixes in between. But I think we'd be, I always say this at least once a stream, I think we'd be ignorant to think that we're not getting a Call of the Wild 2 in the near future. Oh, he's a nice big boy. And I just shot him in the gut. They brought out the Angler. The Angler has a new engine in it. You look at the things that is just impossible for this game to do, like crossplay. This game was never, when this game first came out, it wasn't meant for multiplayer. And so that's why sometimes the multiplayer isn't as good as it could be. And I think, and so I think we'd be, considering how long it takes to develop a game from, pre-production to finished product, like till release, you're probably looking at 2 or 3 years of development. And so I would think that there's a Call of the Wild 2 already in development. If I'd have to guesstimate on a release, the Angler's been out for over a year now. Oh, that was a nice buck. Yeah, right? I mean, that stinks, right? Same thing with mountain lions do the same thing. I don't know if it's just a thing with cats, right? So I'd hazard a guess maybe there's going to be an announcement for this game. If not this year, then next. There'll be another, there'll be a release. You look at the Hunter Classic, it's still being supported. I think that's like 13 years old, almost 14 years old. This game here is right around the time when it was 6 or 7 years old. That's when this game came out. And so it's a very niche gaming community. Like it's a very niche genre. But just given the fact of, I see what's on, if you haven't played The Angler, not a bad game, actually. I was very skeptical of it, but I actually enjoy playing it. There might be some content of that coming in the near future. I don't know. But if you look at if you look at what they've been doing as far as development goes, with The Angler, yeah, yeah. There's no, you know what, Crocus? There's no way they aren't developing a new game right now. There's just no way, right? They'd be foolish not to. The popularity of this game, like think about it. Like in The Angler, you can hop in a boat with your buddies or hop in a Jeep with your buddies and ride around the map. You can't do that here. How cool would that be in playing multiplayer, and you can hop in a Jeep or a boat. I think they want to go to a live service just like they do for The Angler, so they can release patches and updates right away to fix the game, instead of having, because right now they have to go through all the approvals of PlayStation and Xbox before they can release a patch. Whereas right now they could, if there was a bug in the game, they could fix it and they could press a button on Steam and it would be fixed for PC players. But they want to keep it, they want to make sure they don't isolate the communities. So they want to make sure that everybody gets the updates at the same time, which perfectly get. A live service like The Angler is right now allows them to do that. People want boats in this game because who wouldn't want to, where I'm from, you can hunt in a canoe, right? You can hunt in any boat that doesn't have a motor. It's got to be hand powered. I would love to drop a canoe right here in this thing and paddle all the way down and just, to shoot the animals from my canoe and go pick them up later. They can't do that with this game. At least I don't think they can. I think it would be too hard. So when you look at all the things that are missing from this game, even the markers we were talking, it was kind of I haven't tried it yet, but there was trying to think of who wrote this on one of the comments on one of my videos. He said what he does is he takes a duck decoys with him, and where he has whenever he finds a max weight or a good hunting spot, he drops a duck decoy there, so that he knows he wants to go and hunt there again. So he has all these duck decoys hanging around his map, but those are places where he wants to come back and go hunt, right? I thought, okay, that's pretty smart. But in The Angler, you can drop a pin and you can label it for the if I caught a diamond smallmouth, I can label it. I can put a diamond pin down and label it smallmouth. How cool would that be here? You find a max weight, you have a max weight pin for whitetail. You can put a max weight pin down, label it whitetail, and that way I know, hey, I'm going to come back to this need zone later on and see whether that's a diamond or not, right? So there's a lot of features missing from this game that I don't think they're going to get to, or that they just can't bring. And the fact that we didn't get a map in December because they want to focus on quality tells me that Not that they're winding down. I'll never say that they're winding the game down. They're not. Because, like I said, they're still supporting the Hunter Classic. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get an announcement either this year or next about a new game. And I wouldn't feel and I wouldn't feel cheated at all. I'd be happy about it. You know, all the time and energy I've put into this game, because the reality of it is you know, I don't know if anybody has played Way of the Hunter yet, but I like Way of the Hunter. It's a great game. I'm actually just waiting for it to get a little bit. You know, I've been waiting. It's been out for a year now, and I played it at first. I was like, great, and every time I play it, the game's improved. And so I've just been kind of waiting for it to get just a little bit better. And it's different from this game, right? This game has like the trophies and it's action, whereas that one's more of a simulator. I like both games equally. There's things I like about Way of the Hunter that I don't. Um, yeah, so if you're following the Ultimate Hunter, that looks fantastic. I just don't know. I think they were still looking for a publisher, and they're still continuing to work on it. They're very small, but man, oh man, if that thing comes out and if it's as half as good as how it looks, it'll be a fantastic game. And let's face it, competition is good. Um, Competition only makes you have to, you know, make sure you have a better product. And so, you know, what's Call of the Wild's competition been? Oh, we're lagging out here. That's not good. There we go. What's Call of the or what's Call of the Wild's competition been? Hunting Sim, Hunting Sim 2. I mean, I've tried Hunting Simulator 2. It's a great game. For some parts of it are really good, and other parts are just absolute trash. I think they got Hunting Sim 2. What they did really well was your customization and, you know, being able to select a gun and select the caliber you wanted that gun in. I think that was a fantastic idea. And their models and everything look really good. It was just the gameplay that suffered. That was a weird metallic sound. So when you have you know, Call of the Wild has been the premium hunting game for a while. Classic, you know, it's a good sim. There's no it's a nice little bronze we got. There is no comparable. I don't think. Classic is still probably, if you're looking for a deep simulator, Classic is probably still the best game for that. But I think Way of the Hunter is kind of like a combination of this game and Classic. It's more of a sim. This game's a little bit more arcadey, right? So, and I'm kind of hoping that a new game would be a little bit more of a sim. You know, once again, they're, you know, self-admitted. EW is limited to rendering distance. Way of the Hunter is not. You know, you can see an animal almost. I think it's up to a kilometer, isn't it, of render? So, you know, yeah. So, I mean, one of the things too to remember is Way of the Hunter is developed by a lot of the guys that are doing Way of the Hunter worked on Cabela's projects. So that's why it's very Cabela like. Like if you're struggling in Way of the Hunter, if you're struggling in Way of the Hunter, it's because you're not playing it like you would a Cabela's game, where if you go behind a rock, then if the animal can see you, then it's going to spook. And so if you ever played Cabela's, you could. Oh yeah, yeah. So a lot of the developers, or a lot of the guys that are involved in Way of the Hunter, come straight from the Cabela's games, and that's why it's got that. I find, anyways, it's got a very Cabela's feel to it, and so. And there, once again, there's a game I was kind of leery on because I was like, man, how much are they going to support this? But they've been making improvements. They've got rares now, and they've made improvements. They're getting more, more sites and more equipment. They got big plans for that game. So I think that game will be around for. They'll support it for a few years, anyways. And I like it. I didn't like the control layout, but now that you can kind of change. Now, see, I use the what is this? The Edge controller with the back buttons on it. I don't like to have to take my fingers off the buttons too often when I'm playing a game like this. So, and because I can remap the buttons now, I did the same thing. So I basically now play Call of the Wild controls on Way of the Hunter, which makes life a little easier for me. I like it. I think the models are good. Could they be a bit better? Sure. The ballistics are very realistic. I was just on Zaggy's stream there the other day, and I was just telling him, like, I tested it out. You can, if you let it, if you, in this game, if you had those two moose and you wanted to shoot both of them, you can't. But in Cabela's, or not in Cabela's, in Way of the Hunter, see, I called it Cabela's. In Way of the Hunter, you can go and if there's two deer and you have a higher caliber, you got a 338, you can shoot through one white tail or one mule deer, and you can hit the one that's behind it, and you can take two deer out with one bullet if it's lined up enough where you're going to hit vitals or whatever. And you have to be using like a fairly high energy weapon, right? Because if you're not, then it's not. If you're not, then it's not. It's not going to go all the way through, right? It'll just drop off, or it'll stay in the deer. But if you're using a high energy weapon, then it'll go right through both. Got a hurt shot on him. I think the thing with a Way of the Hunter too, though, is where do you draw the line for what's your cutoff for PS4? Like, not a lot of people have a PS5 still yet, right? So do you still create the game with PS4 in mind, or do you just do it for next gen consoles, right? Oh, reloading would be nice. Yeah, and it wasn't by design. Okay, so originally the great ones came out. It was kind of like they were supposed to be. It's that you go into a certain area and there's how old Cabela's, like the Cabela Pro hunts, had like pin cushion and stuff like that. That's what the great one was supposed to be like. It was supposed to be an animal that spawned in, that was rare, and it was on your map. It could be on your map somewhere. It was something special to look out for. And then everybody wanted to learn the game mechanics, and And I mean, for a lot of like for a lot of the streamers too, right? Like you mentioned hunting drink zones, right? Everybody's hunting drink zones. It's a great place for beginners to start because it's easy to find a drink zone near because you just need to go near the water and you should find animals, right? Plain and simple. Like even in Way of the Hunter, I like going around and I like doing what I'm doing here and trying to do like a natural hunt, right? I don't know if we can hit him with a shotgun from that far out. Let's try. What the heck? For giggles, for science. No, we're not going to make it now. Now that he's flying. I like doing like a natural hunt where I'm kind of going, I got a little bit of a plan, but now I'm, just going around. Today I was kind of hunting drink zones. I haven't hunted them for a while. I like just finding outside all sorts of zones. Some I can understand for when you're streaming, it's keeping up game action, right? Because you're like, hey, I'm hunting a drink zone. Like earlier in the game, I shot a bunch of elk and then I was running around trying to find the darn things because a couple of them floated away and that can get frustrating and get boring for people watching, and you want people to be engaged and enjoy watching what you're putting out, I guess. But I'd much rather just hunt. Where's that bear call and what is he? Where is he? How big is he? Or you come across a max weight track or something like that. That's kind of my favorite. And that's the way I hunt in this game all the time is I'll come across, I look at all the tracks, and like if this guy here, he doesn't tickle my fancy, but if he was, a 620 moose, if he was a max weight, I'd totally change direction and go and try to hunt him down because I want to. Not that diamonds are important to me. It's just I'm looking for rares and big animals and diamonds, right? And if I ever come across a great one, would I shoot it? I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to know that you've got this, this rare animal on your map? Yeah. Yeah. So there you go, right? There's the debate, right? And some people want the grinding videos. I'm more into exploring. I'll readily admit I tried. I was on Tierra Roa and I set up for a red deer grind, and I stopped playing the game for like 3 months after like I think 2 weeks of grinding. I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to go to this zone and I'm going to see. And you started getting like a diamond here and a diamond there, and I was like, that's not exciting because if I go to the zone and I don't find a diamond, I was almost feeling cheated, right? Let's grab this guy here. Let's just up a little bit and what the heck? Oh, I'm in a shotgun. No wonder. There you go. I don't know. You burn out on the game really quickly if you're grinding if that's not your thing. And so I agree with you 100%. To go out here and to see the beautiful landscapes. I remember the first time I went on Medved and I was, where the big pillars of rock are, and I called my wife over. I was like, you got to see this. And I'm like, this is a game. Like, look how beautiful that is. I took a picture of a sunset in this game and showed it to a friend of mine. He goes, oh my goodness, where is that? I'm like, oh, it's a video game. He goes, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is. And he couldn't believe it. So, to have a video game like that, it's when you hit the music in here, the music is nice. The audio is nice in this game. It really they've really captured an outdoorsy feel. I like it when it rains in the game. Now the thunder used to be a little bit. The thunder and lightning used to be a little bit better, especially here on Medved. They changed it a number of years ago, and I don't like it as much. But and I think and I think some of the problem too is that with all the creators out there that are doing grinding and all of that stuff, they just it's almost created this thing like it's too small. And there's so much emphasis. People have put so much emphasis on great ones and diamonds, and they've just uh, some of my greatest hunts on this game have just come from just going around, and all of a sudden, I might be tracking something, or I wasn't even looking for the animal, and I look over, I see a call or something like that, and I look over, and there's a huge moose there or something, right? Actually, he's a nice moose. I think he might have been the one we spooked before. Let's take him out. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I and in all honesty, that's the whole reason I started my channel. Like there was, they were offering the game for free on Steam and stuff like that, and they were saying how many new players they had. And when I first started playing this game, it was just released. I had it on disc on my PS4, and I was playing it, and I was like, how do I put stuff in the inventory? I was like yelling at the game because I was like, I don't know how to change my inventory. How do I change my gun? How do I do this? How do I do that? There was nothing telling you how to do anything. And I literally played this game, shelved it for 3 months because I was like, I just can't handle this. I want to play this hunting game. It looks really cool, but it's trash. I can't play it. I don't know how to do anything on it. That's kind of a funky wreck he's got there. Um, and so I stopped playing it. I was like, oh, I got so frustrated. And then I picked it up again. Did I not hit that moose? He should have died. Anyways, and then I picked it up again, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna play this game. And then I got into it, and I was like, man, I really like this game. I don't know why I didn't just stick with it. And it was because the tutorials were so bad, and it was frustrating. Even getting the hang of the controls was just frustrating. And so, anyways, long story short, back during COVID, I was like, you know what? And I saw the need for it. Like, you know, mad respect for, Jaxie started off as creator. Now he's a community manager. Mad respect for him and for Flinter and Zaggy and all of those guys. But when they do a beginner guide, they don't explain all the little things. They don't break down all the little things. And sometimes those are the things that you want to know. Like, how many tents can I put on a map, or how many tree stands, or what's the distance with this and what's the distance with that. Those are the things that new players need to know. So I appreciate that. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to start this and see where it takes me and see what kind of response it gets. TK was a community manager at the time. I said to TK, I said, like, hey, what do you think of this? He's like, yeah. He says, try it out, see if it works. I said, okay. And it's been pretty good. Like I did content, and then I didn't touch my channel for like 2 years, and it continued to grow. And I was like, yeah, I need to get back at doing stuff for the channel. Like I said, it's just kind of my way of giving back to the game, I guess, and helping other people, because this game's great if you've had a stressful week, or you just want to chill a little bit. You want to hang out with your friends, if they have the game. I can't tell you. No, we're not going to shoot it either. I can't tell you how many times I've I've had friends pick up this game, and I'm like, yeah, let's go on a multiplayer hunt together. And I've acted like oh, I see, I was zeroed for 300. I thought I was zeroed for 150. And we've done like a multiplayer hunt, and I've been like a guide and said, okay, like I took like one rifle with me and a pair of binoculars and a tent and some collars, and said, okay, you're at level 0, I'm at level 60. Let me take you out. Let me show you some spots, and let's get you leveled up here a little bit. And I'll show them, if you watched EW stream this week with Jaxie and, was it this week? Yeah, this week was Jaxie and Vivi. That's basically what I've done, is gone out and said, okay, you're at nothing. Here's what you got to do to start hunting and getting into the game. And it is always, I love doing that. It's some of my favorite hunts, watching, helping somebody get their first diamond or first rare or whatever the case might be. It's like, it's pretty cool. So I think that's why this community is different, right? It's when you're hunting, it's more relaxed. You can be competitive, but not competitive. If you've got 51 great ones and 500 diamonds, fantastic, good for you. I think I might be at I don't even know what I'm at right now. Let's just check here quick. Codex, hunting profile. So on this playthrough, I've only got 73 diamonds, and this was my main. This was the one I started from day one. Now, last year when they were trying to fix the save problems, I started a new one, and it was funny because I started that new account, and within 3 months I had 10 diamonds or something like that, not even. And I think it took me 2 years to get my first diamond when I first started playing. Anyways, we'll go another 15 minutes, I guess. And that's why I don't mind either. If people ask questions, that's what the whole thing is about. Earlier we had Thieves in here, and he's like, sorry for asking questions. No, man, ask questions. And if I don't know the answer, that's fine. Maybe we'll do some science experiments and find out together. So, I'd prefer just to do 1 or 2 minute videos, but I know on the skill series stuff, I kind of wanted to show the process of how the skills worked, right? What are the experiments I was doing in order for me to come to the conclusions, so that you can trust, okay, he did this experiment and he showed us how he did that. Now there's some where it's just almost near impossible to do that. Hold on, we're going to see if we can get a whole pile of ducks here. No, it didn't hit the water. There we go. See, I should have just aimed lower. So you see, when you hit the water, well, we got to reload. We'll just waste a bit of ammo here. But if you've got a bunch of ducks lined up like that, even at 100 meters or 120 meters, you can shoot across the water, and it'll show you the spray from the bullets there. You just, even if we aim a little bit higher, see only one pellet hit there. But sometimes you can get it when they're all in a row like that. You can take out 3 or 4 ducks. I just aimed too high. Where are we? My intention was to hunt over here today. That didn't happen. Now we're over here. This used to be a really good spot for whitetail and The whitetails used to be like through here. I had really good zones through here, and then when they did the reshuffle, they kind of all disappeared. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? And I think that's where, and you have it exactly right. When you are just focused on getting diamonds and you just don't enjoy, I'm going to say enjoy being outside even though you're playing a video game. If you just don't enjoy the scenery and take the time just to be like, yeah, I didn't really shoot much today, but it doesn't matter because I had a relaxing time playing the game, right? Like I said, I still when if I'm hunting red deer or I'll be out hunting here and I'll glass like a big moose or something, I still get excited because I'm not expecting like I said before, when you're grinding, eventually you're going to start hitting those big animals and then it's not a surprise. But when you got a big moose that you just spotted and it pops out of the middle of nowhere and you're like, holy moly, that's absolutely awesome. I was out hunting with we were hunting online with a friend. My stupid beavers. I like that tent. When you're out hunting with, I was out hunting with them on New England on my other save, and I got like a 300 plus moose. It was just massive. That won't ever happen again. Well, it might, but I just happened to see these huge antlers sticking, going through the bushes on New England, and I was like, whoa, 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 that thing's massive, right? I want beavers in the game. I don't care what the next map is. Just give us beavers. I want my revenge. Said to EW once. I'm like, beavers shouldn't be too hard. Just a beaver is an alligator and a raccoon combined together. Combined together. Hey, Jacob. Yeah, it's an alligator raccoon. It's a alligator raccoon. Oh, a giant anteater. That'd be kind of cool. Like, there's so many options for them. And I know people are tired of North America, but I don't think people understand the scale. Yeah, monkeys, right? Because you said you're in Brazil, right, Crocus? So you'd have monkeys to hunt. I could see that as a possibility. Because the reality of it is that when you're in North America here, North America is so vast. Ooh, hello. Let's go. Hold on. I'm just gonna. That's what we'll do. Almost done for today, but we're gonna go and we're gonna get a turkey before we're done. How does that sound? Turkey mouth collar. Let's put that there. There we go. So this crow collar is good because turkeys respond really well to that vocalization. There we go. Still, I say probably one of the best features they put in is when you get that range now. For beginners, that's got to be absolutely fantastic. For me, I love it. I think it's great. Our wind is good. I think what I'd like to do is, I think it gets flat up over here. 90 meters. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, he's in there somewhere. We got a couple of them, don't we? Oh yeah, like I'm all for, you know, Brazil. I think would be great. I love hunting Parquet. I think it's a great map. But that mission about filling your lodge with diamonds just about killed me. Like it, I've said this before. It took me 3 solid months. I had every diamond but a mule deer, and it took me 3 months of hunting to get a diamond mule deer on that map. And I was like, at the end of it, it was like any mule deer I saw was like dead. Okay, so let's, come on, tree, hide us. Oh well, that's good enough. Let us give a crow call again. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. I'm just worried about the wind now. We moved too far over, I think. But North America is such a large map, or such a large area. You know, I've had relatives come over from Germany and just think that it's, oh, let's go over to Niagara Falls or something. That's like 4 hours away from me. They're like, well, it doesn't look that far on the map. Well, yeah. You know, whereas I know in Europe, you know, you can drive, you know, 4 or 5 hours. You're in 3 or 4 countries. Let's see where these guys are. I think that's why Australia was so good, right? You know, getting that. I think Emerald Coast, that's another good beginner map for people that are looking. There's so many deer species on there. Come on, where are you? Hold on here. I'm just going to mute for a second. All right. 50 to 70 meters. Okay. They're close. 50 to 70. They must just be over this ridge here. Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting about Emerald Coast and how, like, I recommended SRP to somebody today as a good beginner map, but Emerald Coast is a good beginner map too, I think, now. Especially with it, when everything pays off. The feral goats pay really well. Okay. Can we get get a little higher without being seen, you think? Well, it's raining now, so now we're good to go. We should be good to go up here. Yeah. Oh, for sure. And that's a good point, right? Those... Oh, crap. Nah, we got busted. I got impatient and we got busted. Let's see how many turkeys were here. We got one. Rabbits. How big is the rabbit? So I had to look it up today. I thought rabbits only went to 5 kgs, but I guess they go up to 6. Technically almost 7. They can go up to like 6.8 kgs. Ah, I wanted to get it. Yeah, so Emerald Coast, definitely. I would say New Zealand. New Zealand's good because the fallow deer pay good. They're like 1,100 a pop, pretty much, like $1,000 a pop. And I don't want to say they're fragile, but they're not like hunting a moose, right? Oh, more need zones. So we'll pick those up. 6. Anything max weight kicking around? See, I'm constantly checking tracks just because can't tell you how many times I've come across. You got 6 turkeys here. I want to know what's here. And how many times I've come across, like, I found a max weight track just by going around and checking all the tracks that I can see, making sure. Anyways, it is 12:30, and I had some stuff that I had to get done today, taking the missus out tonight, going out on a date night, which is great. So I want to thank everybody for joining today, even if it was just for a little bit. I truly appreciate it. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. If you tuned in yesterday and there was no audio, I truly, truly apologize. I had muted my controller somewhere in the fray of things, and probably right at the beginning of the stream, because I can just mute with my microphone, and I didn't. I muted it on my controller and just forgot to check. And so anyways, that led to a Friday stream. But I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Thank you for joining. I'll probably go live again. And thank you for all the support. I really, really wish everyone the best, and I hope you have fun playing this game. And Call of the Wild tutorials.